I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys about my new single. It's called Love Me and it's out February 12th. Make sure you pre-save it, make sure you stream it, make sure you add it to a playlist, post it, use the soundbite, do all the things for me, you guys. I'm very, very excited about this one. This single is the start of a whole era of my artistry. I have been working tirelessly on this project for the past 2 years, honestly longer. I think it's almost going on 3 years, and just honing in on this world and this character, and this single is the start of this project, so stay tuned. I'm so excited. Sonically, there were a lot of things inspiring this record. I sang opera in high school. I went to the Eastman School of Music for vocal performance, and my senior year I had to sing in front of a jury, and it was like your senior recital in a sense. It was your senior jury, and you get graded on everything, and you're singing in like 4 different languages and all these arias and art songs and all the things, and one of them in particular I sang was called the Willow Song from the Ballad of Baby Doe, and it always stuck with me. I feel like when you learn music in high school, the way they make you study that, it's ingrained in you for life. Like, I never forgot any of it. And I always knew I wanted to sample or use that part of my life in my artistry now. I just didn't necessarily know quite how and when, and I knew it was going to kind of happen organically. It was always an idea in the back of my mind, and I knew it would come to fruition when it was meant to, and that's what happened with Love Me. So I told the producer I really wanted to sample an opera song I used to sing and kind of base a song off of that. I just thought of the song. I thought of the beginning motif that is in the song, that is also in my song now, Love Me, that you'll hear. And we started there and we cut it up. I re-sang it, so it is me singing it in the song, and we use that as the base of everything for the production. And then we structured the song around it and added strings and added 808s almost, and like a trap drum kind of. But I wanted everything to stay dark and have this like timeless yet modernized version of this opera song in a sense. Just wanted the record to be super haunting and dark, definitely pulling from some inspo like Lana Del Rey, Rihanna, The Weeknd. Like, there were just certain references. We were trying to see what sounds we wanted to add on top of the opera sample, obviously. I thought about what else I did as a child and what else inspired me and other things I trained in, and I also trained in musical theater. And kind of combining those two worlds is Phantom of the Opera, and that was the first musical I ever saw on Broadway. I'll never forget it. I was front row, like the chandelier like fell on my head. Like, it was such an amazing experience, and that was my favorite musical at the time, and it's so amazing. If you have not seen Phantom of the Opera, please go see it. And then a close second favorite was Chicago the Musical. I also saw it on Broadway, and I always loved that musical, like the TV film version, everything. And the Phantom of the Opera film version is also amazing. And I feel like those two, my parents showed me at a young age and all the things, even though Chicago was like a little racier. But I mean, Phantom of the Opera was kind of racy in some moments too. But regardless, I really wanted to also channel those two shows into Love Me. And it was already naturally doing that because of how we took the opera sample and I re-sang it, and then adding like a bass drum that was just haunting, and it was really already combining, I feel like, Chicago the Musical and Phantom of the Opera pretty easily. So I really wanted to run with that. And then came the theme and the songwriting, and I thought about what I was going through in my life at the time, and then also all these characters, and betrayal definitely came up. And I thought about, even in the Willow Song, the opera song I am singing, in that part of the opera, the wife is going through a divorce and she's heartbroken and just feels horrible, and something compelled her to go back to the willow tree she first met her husband at, hoping he would be there, and he wasn't. And she's crying and she's like talking to the tree, basically saying, if my husband does come back and look for me, tell him I'm weeping too and I'm just as upset. And it was like a really sad moment. It's like heartbreaking and devastating. And then in Chicago the Musical, it's kind of like crazy betrayal stories one after another. If you've ever seen Cell Block Tango, like, that's one of the more iconic numbers from it. But I mean, every single number is iconic, but yeah. And then Phantom of the Opera is also about betrayal, and there's just a lot of layers to that story, and Christine and the Phantom and societal things. Like, there's just so much to that too. So, and then I thought about my own personal life and how I definitely was going through a huge romantic situation about betrayal and friendship as well, unfortunately. You know, which sometimes in a weird way can hurt more, because I feel like, I don't know, who was it? Someone said once that like a guy can barely know you and hurt you, but like a girl will get to learn you and know you deeply and then like turn around and hurt you anyway, or like betray you. It's like I forget, is it Jenny? What's her name? I forget. But regardless, that is so real. And I feel like sometimes friends you really expect at least from, because it's like, I don't know, you just don't expect it in the same way maybe a romantic guy partner you've been dating for a few months in the same way. I don't know. But in any case, I was going through a lot of betrayal, and I thought about the simple things that I just wanted. And I was definitely more so focusing on the relationship, like romantic betrayal. And I just said, like, all I wanted was for you to love me. And it kind of came out naturally in the melody that the hook is that you'll hear. And, you know, it's such a simple hook. I mean, the title, Love Me, it's simple, but I've never really heard it done or sang in this exact way. And at the end of the day, that's really all I wanted. And it just, you know, for anyone who's gone through heartbreak or betrayal, it seems so simple. It seems like what you're asking of your partner is so simple. And it's like, how can they not do that? Like, I've been so good to them and this, that, and the third. Like, all I wanted was for you to love me. And in a weird way, I think they do, but it's in their kind of selfish, on their own terms way. And it's not real love. It's not real, you know? And it's sad because, like, they'll always come back. I mean, that particular person that kind of ignited this story has come back so many times, and it's sad. I just don't think he has the capacity to really care for someone until he does his own deep healing work. You know, everything happens for the best, because, like, where I'm at now, I would have never even probably dated a guy like him or put up with any of the bullshit he put me through, and I've experienced so much growth. So it's obviously for the best, and there is direction in the redirection. But at the time, I was so heartbroken. Like, I could barely eat. I was, like, not waking up till 4. Like, it was a really, really dark time for me, and I really wanted to represent that in this song. And there's, like, it's almost like you're going through grief when you have a breakup, because you're experiencing the loss of someone that was in your life very consistently a lot. I feel like there's stages to grief, obviously, and there was moments where I was just so sad, and then there was moments I was so angry and confused and questioning so much. And in verse 2, you'll hear me kind of talk about karma, and there's definitely themes of revenge, and there's definitely moments where I was like, I just want him to feel the pain I'm feeling. So overall, writing this song was super cathartic for many reasons, just personally, relationship-wise, thematically, but also sonically, and revisiting musicalities and music that I grew up on, and kind of what originally inspired me to pursue music.